ever wondered about functional lab testing for your child with ADHD? If so, stick around because I'm going to share my favorite functional lab test in this video. Now, if you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss out on new videos about ADHD and how to naturally reduce symptoms. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Dana Kay, and I am so passionate about helping families reduce their kids' ADHD symptoms with food and other natural solutions. I'm also a board-certified holistic health and nutrition practitioner, but most importantly, I'm a mum to a gorgeous boy with ADHD who is thriving without medication, and I have years of experience helping other families do the same. So on that note, let's dive in. I first want to say that your child's body will continue to act a certain way regardless of how many medications or supplements you use if you don't have a solid foundation of nutrition. If you're still sort of pounding the body with inflammatory food, no matter what supplements you give, you are not going to get the desired results. You will end up wasting your money on lab testing and supplements. And honestly, between you and me, I never want anyone to waste their money unnecessarily. I know that I could probably put both of my boys through college with the amount of money I spent on finding solutions before I knew what I do now. Just as there are causes of the symptoms of a cough, like the flu or bronchitis or tuberculosis, there are causes of chronic disorders or illnesses. These symptoms are just like warning signs from the body that something else is wrong. The only way to address it is to get the body examined further, specifically with functional lab testing. The goal is to identify and remove the underlying malfunctions and blocking factors that are found in the tests and return the body to normal function. And when normal function is restored, that health is abundant and symptoms actually disappear on their own and our kids can thrive. So how I work is that instead of just sort of treating symptoms or simply putting a Band-Aid over them, I employ functional lab testing to identify healing opportunities in the entire body. So we take a deep dive into hormones, immunes, digestion, detoxification, and intestinal barrier symptoms. And there are 3 foundational functional lab tests that I recommend and use with the families that I work with. I do have access to hundreds of other tests, but these 3 are a really great starting point to look at the entire body rather than sort of casting that net way too wide. And today I'm going to give you an explanation of each of these 3 tests. But before I do that, I just want to explain a couple of things about how our gut affects ADHD. So let's start with that gut-brain connection. There is a very close connection between the gut and the brain. One of the first signs of disconnect in the brain is a gut that is not functioning well. The brain has many areas that are involved in gut function, but one of the main areas is the frontal lobe, and it talks to the gut via nerve branches and two-way chemical messengers. The frontal lobe is involved in things like attention, focus, executive function, planning, organizing, problem solving, all of which are common symptoms that most of our ADHD kids are struggling with. But also, and this is the real kicker for me, the gut is also responsible for making 95% of our serotonin and 50% of our dopamine, which are our happy, feel-good neurotransmitters or hormones that helps regulate our emotions. They maintain our mood balance and help our cognitive function. Again, these are areas that most kids with ADHD have problems with. So that's why gut health is such an important piece of the puzzle when it comes to ADHD. Because if the gut isn't functioning well, the brain won't be able to function well either. Okay, so now, without further ado, here are the 3 foundation functional lab tests that I use with the families that I work with. The first test we use is called a wheat zoomer. And I will spell that last word for you because I have an Australian accent and I live here in America and I don't pronounce it the way that Americans would. So that's ZOOMER. Zoomer. So the wheat zoomer and food sensitivity testing. And we do that through Vibrant Wellness Labs. The wheat zoomer will tell us a few things. It will tell us the current state of the gut. If there's digestion issues, if there is leaky gut present, and this is critical due to the importance of the gut-brain connection. We can also see the exact level of reactivity to wheat and how it impacts all of the symptoms, things like eczema, chronic headaches, migraines, emotional dysregulation, mood swings, depression, brain fog, bowel issues, and the list goes on. If there is leaky gut, there will also be food intolerances, which is why we run a complete food sensitivity panel that looks at inflammatory reactions to over 100 different foods like chicken, beef, broccoli, blueberries, and so much more. This is going to provide us with your child's food sensitivity so we can further reduce inflammation in the body. This is super critical because these food intolerances can be exacerbating your child's symptoms and wreaking havoc on the body and the brain and the gut. And we know that inflammation is one of the main drivers of ADHD symptoms. So I mentioned leaky gut and how this test looks for it. You might be wondering, what is leaky gut? I should probably explain that. Well, normally when we eat food, our gut breaks down that food into micronutrient-sized particles, and those particles go through the lining of the gut into our cells to give us all of the nutrients we need so we can function optimally. However, as I mentioned, a lot of our kids have leaky gut. So leaky gut is basically a breakdown of the lining of the gut, and it forms these large holes in the lining. Now, when we eat food, even the healthiest food, before the gut has had a chance to break it down, it can go through the holes in the gut and into our bloodstream. And when something foreign goes into our bloodstream, our body recognizes it as a foreign object and it turns on this immune response. But if that large molecule is in fact a large food macronutrient or protein, then your immune system might start sending signals to create an immune response and start creating antibodies and start attacking it. Inflammation, inflammation, inflammation. Now, the body has a great memory, so anytime you eat that food again, your immune system seizes it dangerous, it attacks it, it causes more inflammation, but it also continues to further break down the lining of the gut. All of this results in food intolerances. So, something might have started leaky gut previously. It could have been a parasite. It could have been antibiotics. And then leaky gut causes these food intolerances, and the food intolerances continue to cause leaky gut. So in order to heal the gut, you must remove these foods or they will continue to break down the lining of the gut and you won't be successful. So this test looks for inflammatory reactions in the body to certain foods. I want you to know, though, it's important to remember that food sensitivities are not true allergies, but they do cause inflammation in the body. And so you can actually heal from the sensitivities. Once you heal the gut, you can start to add those foods back in. So that's the first foundational test I use and recommend for families of children with ADHD. And it's super easy to do. You can do it at home. We can send the lab test to your house and it's just a quick finger prick and you send it back to the lab. The next test that we use is the organic acid test, or OATS for short. This test is a comprehensive snapshot of your child's overall health, but most importantly, it includes more markers relating to the state of the gut, things like parasites, C. diff, yeast, bacteria, and even mold toxicity. We love this test because we know that high levels of these can really cause or worsen behavioral disorders. It can increase hyperactivity, tic disorders, fatigue, and immune function. It will also show you nutritional deficiencies such as B vitamins, which are really important for our compromised kids. It will look at their detoxification pathways, mitochondrial function, and oxidative stress. All of this directly impacts the gut-brain connection and drives ADHD symptoms. So this is definitely an important piece of the puzzle that will drive the healing for your child. Now, an interesting fact, this test was originally created by a doctor for kids with autism, and it's now widely used to explore the root cause for so many other concerns. We recommend this test for children who have these additional needs, as it can really help to identify underlying causes that are exacerbating those ADHD symptoms, that sensory processing issues, behavior and learning problems. And it's, again, really simple. It's a urine test. We send the kit to your house, you send it back. Now, the last test is a Kryptopyrrole test through DHA laboratory. If someone has elevated urine kryptopyrrole levels, it can result in a dramatic deficiency of zinc and vitamin B6. Now, symptoms of pyrroles include poor tolerance to physical or emotional stress, poor anger control, mood swings, aggression, sensitivity to light and sound, poor appetite, and poor short-term memory, just to name a few. This is a urine test as well. Now, these 3 panels are going to give you a clear, full picture of what is going on in your child's gut, in their brain, and in their whole body. We are using the gold standard labs in the industry. These are only available to practitioners. We will order all of the labs for you and send the kits to your home. You collect the samples and send them back to the labs. How easy is that? So to summarize, the 3 base tests that I use with families are the Vibrant Wellness Food Zoomer test and food sensitivity panel, the organic acid test, and finally the Kryptopyrrole test. Now, it's important to know though that these tests are usually not run by your general doctor and not covered by insurance, unfortunately. This really upsets me because I know so many families out there could be helped if they were. So if you feel that your child may benefit from having these tests done, or you need help on reducing symptoms through natural strategies, including food and reducing inflammation and optimizing detoxification, what I've done is I've set aside some time for me and my team to speak with you personally about developing a personalized plan of attack for your child so that you can reduce their symptoms naturally and get that calm back into your house and help them thrive in life, in home, and in school. You can find a link to book a free call with my team in the video description of this video. So if this is something you'd like to discuss further, make sure and look out for that. So the takeaway from this video is that you need to give your child's body what it needs to heal from the inside out. And you too can reduce their ADHD symptoms naturally. Hopefully this video was helpful. And as usual, if you have any questions whatsoever, feel free to reach out. And again, if you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, go ahead and click on that button right now so you don't miss any future videos. Bye for now.